Hi there! Today I'm going to do you a right-handed tutorial for the 2 and 4 stitch cables in the Blanket of Many Stitches pattern. Now the pattern repeat actually starts mid-row, so I have put 3 regular double crochet stitches into the row so I can show you what it looks like starting mid-row. The cables use a 2-row pattern repeat. The first row uses front post double crochet stitches and the second row uses back post double crochet stitches. Now they are double crochet stitches if you're using US terminology. If you're using UK terminology, then they're treble crochet stitches. And I'm going to jump straight in to doing the smaller 2-stitch cable. Now these are the 2 stitches here that we're going to work across. So as you can see, this is the last stitch that I've worked already. There's the post for it, and there's the space that I've gone into with that stitch. So here's the next unworked post, next unworked stitch completely, and there's the one after it. These are the 2 stitches that we're going to use. What you do to make the small cable is you actually skip the first of these 2 stitches, and we're going to work a front post double crochet stitch around the post of stitch number 2, which is just here. So to do that, you yarn over, insert your hook like that behind the post, move this down here a bit, yarn over, come back through. That gives you 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So there is your first front post double crochet stitch. Now what we do is a bit like making a cross stitch. We go back to the stitch that we skipped, and we're going to work around the post of that stitch, which is just here. So this is the unworked one. Yarn over, go around the post, yarn over, come back through. That gives you your 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And that is the first row of the small cable. Nice and straightforward. Now the next stitch that we're going to make is going to go in here. And if you have any trouble identifying where to put your next stitch, find the last of the posts that you worked around, which in this case is this one here. The next empty post is here, and the space that you work into at the top of it is just to the top and left of the post. So there's the post, there's the space that we're going to work into. Don't be tempted to work into this space here, this one, because this actually belongs to the post that you've worked a front post double crochet stitch around. So there's the post, there's the space that belongs to it. We're going to do a double crochet stitch in here, a regular one, and then a regular double crochet stitch in each of the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. And now we're going to work the 4-stitch cable. So here's the last stitch that we just worked. We're going to work around the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What we're going to do is we're going to skip 1 and 2, and we're going to start working around number 3. And we're going to make a front post double crochet stitch around here. So yarn over, go around that post, yarn over, come back through. Gives you 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And now we're going to work stitch number 4. So you can see we've got 2 unworked stitches here. We've gone around stitch 3. Now we're going to go around stitch 4. Under that post, yarn over, back through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. There we go. You see they've got a slope on them because obviously they're leaning towards these stitches across the ones that we skipped. Now we're actually going to go back and work the stitches that we've skipped, and we're going to do number 1 first and then number 2. So you yarn over and you come all the way back to post number 1, go around the post, yarn over, back through. You might find it easier just to pull it a little bit longer at this stage, just makes it a bit looser. Yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and then if you can see it more easily if you pull it sideways. Stitch number 2, which is the only one we haven't worked yet, has a tendency to try and tuck itself behind the others. So give it all a good pull apart, and stitch number 2 is just here. Yarn over, go around that post, yarn over back through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And that is the start of the large cable. At this stage, particularly when you're doing your first row of cables, it all looks a bit of a mess. But have faith in it, because it will all work out as soon as you've put more stitches in. Now I'm going to do 3 double crochet stitches into the next 3 stitches. So again, here's the last stitch that you worked around. This was number 4. This space up here, that's the one that belongs to that post. Here's the first unworked post after it. There's the space at the top, we're going in there. And I'm going to do 3 double crochet stitches. 1 in here, 1 in the next stitch, and 1 in the one after. And that is the first part of the pattern repeat for both the small and the large cable. We're going to turn round and go back the other way and make the second row of the pattern. Now, from the back at this stage, it all looks a bit odd and a bit twisted. But what you can see nice and clearly is your first 3 ordinary double crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3. And what we're going to do is just work regular double crochet stitches into each of those 3. So there's 1, there's number 2, and there's number 3. Now we're onto the big cable. The big cable for the row 2 is going to be worked with back post double crochet stitches, which means that you're actually going to be inserting your hook from this side of your crochet, not from this side. And what we actually want to do is work around the posts in the order that they are without skipping any stitches. What that means in reality is that if you turn your crochet over, you'll see 2 posts here. Let me take this out and I'll use my crochet hook. So the first one is here, and the second one is this one that's just here. These are the 2 that you're going to work first. The 2 that you're going to work second are the 2 stitches that you can see best from this side. So there's one here and there's one just here. But I will show you these 2 are the tricky 2, and I will show you how to work those when we get there. To start off with, we're going to work back post double crochet stitches, 1 around each of these 2. Now the easiest way to do these 2 is to have it tilted so that you are looking at them and you can see them. You do your yarn over, insert your hook under the first post like that, yarn over, come back through. There's your 3 loops on the hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So that there, that's the first one worked. Let me move this out of the way, you'll be able to see it a bit better. So that's worked around the first one of these stitches. Now we're going to work around the second one just here. So yarn over, and again it's easier if you're looking at the back of your crochet so that you can see these posts nice and clearly. Slide your hook underneath that post, yarn over, come back through. That gives you 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So that's 2 of the 4 stitches from your 4-stitch cable worked. Now finding these 2. There are some natural gaps on either side of your cable, here and here. If you put your finger in the gap on the left hand side and pull, you can see you've got 2 stitches, 1 here and 1 here. These are the ones that we're going to work around. The thing that makes it tricky is that we actually have to work around them from the back. So you're going to insert your hook. Now, unlike the first 2 stitches are much easier if you turn it and you work while you're looking at them from here. With these 2 stitches, they're actually much easier if you work them while you're looking at the front of your crochet. So what you need to do is yarn over and then insert your crochet hook, but you need to go in from the back like that. So you go in, poke it up in front of you, and you're going around the first post. So pull it sideways, there's the second post, there's the first post. To work the first post, pinch the second one and yank it out of the way, and that leaves the first one stood all on its own. It's then much easier to work out where you're putting your crochet hook. So in there, around that post. So it comes out again on the wrong side of your crochet on the back. Yarn over, come back through. Don't get caught up. Oh, let me do that again. It's got caught on the stitch. There, I was trying to make sure you could see it on the video and it's getting all tangled up. There we go. And then yarn over through 2 and yarn over through 2. So that's got this post here worked, and now we're just left with this one. So yarn over, come again, insert your hook from the back side, go around that post, yarn over through 2, back through, then yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. When it comes to working the back post double crochet stitches around these last 2 stitches of the bigger cable, don't be afraid at all to give your crochet a really good yank so that you can isolate your stitches and see where you're supposed to be going, because they do tuck up under each other and it can make it quite tricky. You see here, it just looks like one big mess, and if you try and work them like that, you'll never be able to find the posts. So give it a good hard yank, pull them apart, and when you find the post that you don't want, pull it out of the way and leave the post that you do want. You might also find that before you start doing your back post row, you might find it easiest to put a stitch marker around each of the posts, the front posts from the cable, so that when you come to do your back posts, you can see more easily where the posts are. Now we're going to do 3 regular double crochet stitches. So there's the first unworked post, and there's the space at the top of them. Yarn over and in there, yarn over and back through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And now we're going to do 1 in each of the next 2. And now we're on to the smaller cable. And again, for the smaller cable, the first stitch that you're going to work is the one that is sitting on top when you turn it over and look at the back of your crochet. So here's the front of your crochet, turn it towards you, move this out of the way. This raised diagonal stitch just here, this is the one that we're going to work around. So yarn over and slide your hook onto that post, yarn over, come back through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And the second one is the one that sits on this side. And again, we're going to isolate it by pulling everything apart. Now, you can find with your finger the post of the stitch that you've just made, grab it and pull it sideways. And what you're left with is this post just here. Just here. So this is the one that we're going to work around. Yarn over and around like that. There you can see the post. Yarn over, come back through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And then I'm just going to finish the row off with 3 regular double crochet stitches. So the first one's going in there. And then I'll turn it over and show you what it looks like from the front. So this is the front of the crochet. And you can see when you've done your row of back post double crochet stitches, your stitches actually all end up sitting nice and tidy and straight and in order, ready for you to work the front post twists for the next time you do the pattern repeat. And all you would do is just keep repeating those 2 rows, and that gives you your cable. Thank you for watching. Bye.